The recently released Star Wars novel, Padawan, follows Obi-Wan Kenobi as a Padawan learner to Qui-Gon Jinn as he embarks on his first mission away from Coruscant without his master, who never showed up to leave with him. This video will contain some spoilers for the book, so if you haven't read it yet and want to avoid any sort of spoilers for it, just save this to your watch later and come back after you've finished the book. In the book, when roaming around the Jedi Temple, Obi-Wan finds a star map carved into the walls of an old and repurposed library that was rarely used anymore. Following the carvings, Obi-Wan finds a planet with two names carved next to them, Orla Jareni and Comac Vitus, two Jedi from the High Republic era. Intrigued and excited, Obi-Wan goes to the archives to find out who these two Jedi were and why this planet was so important. He discovers that the Wayseeker Orla Jareni had traveled to the planet, but had never logged any of her findings into the temple archives. Curious, Obi-Wan convinces Qui-Gon to take a ship and research the planet, but when his master isn't anywhere to be found the morning they were scheduled to leave, Obi-Wan decides to travel to the isolated planet alone. He follows the star chart left by Orla to find a planet called Lanara, deep in an unknown part of space. Here he finds a group of what appears to be Force-sensitive teenagers living all alone on a planet that wants to kill them constantly. Between his attempts to protect this group of natives, Obi-Wan finds a cave that was sealed off by the parents of the teenagers still living on the planet, who were determined to keep the history of the planet a secret from everyone else. Here he finds paintings across the walls of the cave that tell the gruesome and haunted history of the planet. A long time ago, a group of settlers crash-landed on Lanara. At first, they lived in peace, scavenging the native fruit and living in unison with the creatures of the planet. However, they learned of a greater power within the planet, one that would meet their needs as well as grant them Force-like abilities, like the ability to jump higher and run faster. These orbs, however, contained the life force of the planet, and the consumption by the new arrivals hurt and angered the planet, causing it to turn violent towards the newcomers. Storms brewed, sinkholes opened randomly, and the creatures became violent. Eventually they were all killed, either by the planet or from their bodies being dramatically weakened by the extensive consumption of this life force. It would be decades later before a new group of settlers came to the planet, which consisted of those that Obi-Wan had found living on the planet. Sometime in between these two groups of settlers, Orla Jareni had come to research the planet, although she was forced to abandon her research before she could report it to the Jedi Council. Obi-Wan, while in the same cave as the paintings, was able to find a recording of Orla where she explains her findings so far. At first, she desired to study the mysterious magic of the planet, thinking that she had found a Force nexus, but she soon realized that she was mistaken. As she says in her recording, the force of this planet, the vast and powerful interconnected life, belongs only to the planet itself. The entire environment exists in perfect symbiosis, but unlike the Force, the planet is a closed system. The power is undeniable, as well as undeniably fragile, and the remains of the civilization that came before, that of which the paintings depict, confirmed what she suspected. Even though Lanara had an immense Force presence, it was disconnected from the rest of the galaxy and the rest of the Force, isolated in its small corner of the galaxy. This brand new planet was one of the main reasons why I enjoyed Padawan so much. It's a very contained story, focusing on Obi-Wan and the natives working together and learning from each other on this unique planet, and getting to slowly learn the history of Lanara, and what made it just so special was an adventure to read. If you want more of my thoughts on the novel, be sure to check out my review of Padawan, and if you've read it, let me know what you thought of the novel as well as your thoughts of this planet in the comments below. Remember to like the video, and subscribe for more deep dives like this, as well as up-to-date news stories, reviews, gaming videos, and more. As always, thank you all for watching, and remember, the Force will be with you, always.